Welcome to US News Today. Thank you for watching. House Dems just dropped a boatload of impeachment docs and they are really bad for Trump. In a surprise move, House Democrats just released a trove of fresh impeachment evidence against President Donald Trump Tuesday evening. The documents were provided by Rudy Giuliani's fixers for Ukraine, Lev Parnas. The documents, which conclude Parnas' handwritten notes, copies of text messages, and other correspondence, reveal some new information, including a copy of a letter from Trump's personal attorney Rudy Giuliani addressed to the president of Ukraine, in which Giuliani claimed to be acting with Donald Trump's full knowledge and consent in his communications with the Ukraine government. That letter, which requests a meeting with Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky, directly links Trump to a trip Giuliani described at the time as meddling in an investigation. In my capacity as personal counsel to President Trump and with his knowledge and consent, I request a meeting with you on this upcoming Monday, the 13th May or Tuesday, the 14th May, Giuliani wrote. One handwritten note of Parnas, scribbled on Ritz-Carlton hotel stationery, clearly states his main objective in his dealings with Ukraine to get Ukraine's president to announce the Biden case will be investigated. In December, the House voted to impeach Trump for abusing his office by pressuring Ukraine to announce an investigation of Biden and for obstructing the congressional investigation into what happened. Republicans have repeatedly defended the president by arguing that the evidence and testimony in the impeachment hearings haven't linked him closely enough to efforts by those around him, like Giuliani, to get Ukraine to announce an investigation into Biden. But the letter says explicitly that Giuliani had Trump's full backing and consent. At a time when Giuliani told the New York Times, "I'm asking them to do an investigation." The documents also provide the strongest evidence yet that there was a corrupt understanding involving Prosecutor General Yuri Lutsenko, a Ukrainian official in the previous regime. Lutsenko offered to investigate Burisma and the Bidens, and in exchange, he insisted that U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine Maria Zovanovich, whom he had clashed with, be fined. He made this quid pro quo clear in his messages to Parnas. But most disturbing of all is a set of messages Parnas received from a person named Robert Hyde, a Republican congressional candidate. Hyde texted Parnas that he had people tracking Zovanovich's movements closely in Ukraine. He claimed he could tell whether her phone and computer were off. And it wrote, "If you want her out, they need to make contact with security forces." There's relatively little about Trump specifically here. The overall takeaway is that the effort to get dirt on Biden stung to high heaven of correction. Giuliani told the Ukrainians he was acting on Trump's behalf. The documents make clear that Giuliani told the Ukrainians he was acting at Trump's behest. He wrote a letter to Zelensky dated May 10, 2019, when Zelensky was still president-elect, and shortly before he was inaugurated, asking for a meeting. In my capacity as personal counsel to President Trump and with his knowledge and consent, I request a meeting with you, Giuliani wrote. Giuliani did not explain what the meeting was about, but the letter's date is one day after Giuliani told the New York Times he would soon be traveling to Kyiv to try to get the Ukrainian government to investigate the Bidens and supposed Ukraine interference in the 2016 election. Giuliani wrote in a letter that he would be accompanied on the trip by Victoria Thornsing, a conservative lawyer involved in dirt-taking efforts, whom Giuliani described as very familiar with this matter. The documents also reveal that when Parnas and Fruman came under scrutiny in the impeachment inquiry, but before his arrest, Trump personally approved his former lawyer, John Dow's representation of the pair. That's according to an email from Trump's lawyer, Jay Sekulow, an intriguing note from Parnas. Another interesting tidbit is a note which the House Intelligence Committee says Parnas has confirmed he wrote, laying out an apparent to-do list. The note reads, get Zelensky to announce that the Biden case will be investigated. That is, get Ukraine's new president to announce an investigation of the Bidens. This is significant because several Trump administration officials, such as Ambassador to the EU Gordon Sondland, have long claimed that they only discussed the possibility of investigating Burisma, the natural gas company whose board Hunter Biden sat on. But here's Bennett openly wanting Ukraine to investigate the Biden case, just as Trump said. He wanted on his infamous July 25th phone call with Zelensky. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share videos, and leave your comment below. Subscribe our channel US News Today to update information. Head up for the next video.